Hey guys, I'm out here right after big rain. I'm actually in the gap of another big rain. I suppose they actually just canceled school or cut them out early, sent them home so that if there's any tornadoes or anything. But so I guess we got an inch of rain and a big severe thunderstorm, whatever, coming. And my dozer's broke and I'm broke, and I had to run up some money to get that water pump and a couple other parts. And so I've got a few trees, 3 trees up on the landing, the start of a white oak pile, which there's hardly any white oak out here. Hardly any white oak out here. All red oak, but right next to the white oak mill is the hungry mill that I'm going to send this junky little red oak to. And so while the dozer's down, the skidder truck is not down, it runs, but I've got to actually do everything right. So it's under construction. It's under construction. It's not broke. I took it apart. I got to make some money. Tractor works. Not good, but it works. So this is a land plane, not a box blade, not a grader blade, but a land plane that I made from a bunch of junk. And I would have made it completely different. Mostly I would have used angle iron turned up on edge like the roof of a house, inverted V, so that the gravels pour up and over. But I did not have any at the time. I was very desperate. This was what I had for material. I had very little material. This needed more weight. It needed more weight for down pressure. And I always end up using this attachment, but it couldn't move trailers or do anything. It couldn't do anything except smooth the ground out. And I'm always having to take off one attachment to put this one on. And I said to myself, I ought to put a trailer hitch on the back of that so I can at least move trailers without having to swap attachments. And then I thought, well, I could use some downforce to help it engage the ground better. Let me put some weight on it. I was going to hang some weight blocks, and then I thought, well, the freaking winch weighs a ton. And then if I need to use the winch, it's always mounted because this winch is on a receiver. So I rigged up this little drop-in. I've got more plans for it. Don't judge it the way it is. But I had to know, how would it work out pulling 2 logs up on it? Now, if it was a PTO winch, I'd be saying this thing is fantastic. But electric winches, and I've only got a 10 amp generator, I need to pull the radiator and do some fab work to put on like a 100 amp alternator. And that'll make the winching way better. But a remote control winch has some big virtue to it, that you can use it. It's slow enough to be safe, and you can have one hand on the remote and one hand doing work. The worst thing about it that I need to address immediately is these stupid fairleads suck the cable in. That's awful. I'm going to put a pulley up here so that I don't have this side pull issue. And I'm figuring that out as I go. But realistically, the tractor can only pull a little bit before the front end goes up. And it's not a case of horsepower, because the front end will go up at idle. It's a case of traction, ground force, going uphill in this greasy clay with logs hooked to you it's hard for anything. Not being a 4-wheel drive, not having a front end loader to balance out the log weight, that's an issue. But it has some merits. It was nice that I could put that down, engage the ground, and winch, and it didn't pull the tractor, whether the brakes were on or not. It's better than having to back up and hook a chain and flat drag. It's nice to have a cable. The cable can do some things with more dexterity than just ripping trees through a tangle of stumps. The longer the tree, the worse off. So, and also, I started off, this is just 2 10.5 foot sticks of crap wood, pallet wood, or hopefully they make a tie. But I had it as one tree, 21 foot long, on one side. And it was loading one tire, and it was making the thing want to steer over. So for this to work out well, I really need to have balanced 2 trees on it. Dual winches would be nice, because then you wouldn't have to unhook one and transfer it. So right here I've got a chain to a grab. I brought this one in on the choker, and then I had to hook it up there and transfer the cable to here. And really the winch should have a brake on it, but for a little log like this will be okay. It has some merits. It has some virtues, but the only way I was going to find out the goods and bads about this was to actually try it. It really can't flip over. As soon as it tries to wheelie, it grounds out. So that's a bonus. And I'm coming out of somebody's driveway. So every pass, I'm dragging these logs through this guy's gravel, and I'm messing up his yard. He doesn't care. I mean, he knew the only way these logs could come out was down the driveway. So it's not an issue between me and the landowner, but just a general issue that I like to do nice work. And I don't want to leave some guy's driveway all ratted up. This is the tool that makes driveways perfect. So it kind of made a lot of sense. Come out with a pair of logs, go back in and drive and drag the blade down his driveway, smooth it out. So it's as if I never came. It's as if he hired somebody to, you know, to grade his gravel out. And I figured that's just one more way that I can do good work, you know. And I like doing good work. This is not about money for me. This is not any kind of way to make money. This is a way to go poor. Waste your time and go poor. But I enjoy it. It's been an adventurous life, and I like doing good work that really most loggers can't afford to do anything besides smash and dash, because it's not their fault. The timber doesn't really pay. It only pays if you're putting out truckloads. The only way to put out truckloads is to not give a crap what the place looks like when you leave. You know, it's hard to, if you're in prime veneer, then you're making enough money on a few trees to take the rest of the day and do a pretty job. But if you're in nothing but pallet garbage, there's not enough money to eat no matter how fast you go. It's just all fuel and machine parts. That's what it is. So again, don't get into logging for the money. There's no money in it. Get into it because you love the lifestyle of being out in the quiet, being your own boss, and getting to enjoy God's creation and being interactive with God's creation. You knowing that you get to choose some of the future outcome of a forest. Don't do it for the money. Praise the Lord, and God bless you.